Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, and also its second largest city, is a fascinating blend of East and West, combining traditional Sino-Vietnamese motifs with French flair. It is largely unscathed from the decades of war and is now going through a building boom, making it a rapidly developing city in Southeast Asia. Most people arrive at Hanoi by International Airport, 35 kilometers north of the city. The airport might seem relatively small considering Hanoi's importance to the country, but this might benefit travelers by making the airport easy to navigate and no need to arrive hours in advance. The limited waiting space is one reason why non-travelers are discouraged from entering the airport, to make sure there is plenty of room for those actually using and working in the airport. The airport is being overloaded, and a new terminal is being built. Public buses serving southern destinations leave from Giap Bat bus station. To get from the Giap Bat bus station to the Old Quarter and Hong Kong Lake, leave aside all the hassle of taxi and motorbike drivers and simply take public bus number 8 towards Long Bien. To find it, head towards the main road inside Giap Bat station. You will see signs with numbers indicating the stops of different bus lines. Taxis are the best way to travel long distances, but the cyclos or pedicabs are a cheap way to make shorter trips. Taxi fares are not always consistent, and the rates for each taxi company have not been standardized. Motorbike driver can be found on virtually every corner, especially in the Old Quarter. Expect to be offered a ride every half block or more. You should absolutely negotiate a fare in advance. As a general rule, a reasonable fare should cost around 10,000 dong per kilometer of travel for a motorbike, possibly varying 10,000 dong in either direction. So know the distance you are traveling or understand that you have no real basis for negotiating a fare rate. Negotiate first or avoid using the cyclos services. They can demand 200,000 dong, $10, for a short ride of less than 100 meters. At the end of the journey, a few men will come over to translate, and they will pretend to help and later insist that you pay the demanded amount. VNG 100.000 for 1 hour is good price, included tip. You have to agree this beforehand. Motorcycles can be rented for around $5-6 a day, and can be arranged by most hotels. A typical bike will be given with 1 liter of fuel, so top up at the nearest petrol kiosk. Queue up with the other bikes, unscrew your fuel cap and hand over your money, $1 per liter, to the attendant who will top up your bike for you. Motorcycles can be bought and sold by foreigners. Many travelers opt to buy their own bike and ride it throughout the country. A lot of riders prefer to start in Hanoi and ride to Saigon, as popularized by the British Top Gear TV series, although they did it the other way round and swapped to the train for the second half. Many people are unsure about the legality of purchasing bikes in Vietnam. Technically, it is illegal for foreigners to own bikes in Vietnam without the proper documentation. Money changers are usually in most guest houses and banks, and they give bad rates. Don't exchange money from the black market people on the streets. The best place to exchange money is at Hectares Trung Road and Hangback, where they give real good rates. ATMs are everywhere and cash is king here. The most common transaction limit at the vast majority of ATMs is 2-3 million dong. A few notable ones allow larger withdrawals. Be sure to check the fee they charge. Vietnamese cuisine is very diverse and most delicious. Most famous remains Bo Gia chicken noodle soup, or Bo Bo beef noodle soup. There are various dishes including chicken, beef, fish and seafood, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of restaurants nowadays in Hanoi catering to everyone's taste. Hanoi street food become a cuisine culture of Hanoi. In Hanoi, there are thousands of street stalls and small kiosks on the sidewalk, with plastic tables and chairs on the pavement. Many people plan to move to Hanoi for a year to relax before settling down. This plan often falls apart at the job phase. Many people will find it difficult to get a suitable job if they do not speak Vietnamese. The old quarter is littered with guest houses and hostels catering for budget travelers. A venue down an alley will not have the constant traffic noise, but check for construction work happening next door. It can wake you up just as early. If you leave food in your room, keep it covered/sealed. Poor hygiene in the neighborhood can bring rodents through the smallest of holes in search of sustenance. Security. Compared to other cities in the developing world, Hanoi is reasonably safe, especially for tourists and expats. The most important danger to watch out for is avoiding traffic while crossing the street, as car and motorbike traffic saturate most tourist areas of Hanoi. Violent crime is highly uncommon. Petty crime does happen on occasion, and usually takes the form of thievery of your valuables while in public or while in transit. Being attentive of your surroundings and valuables and using common sense should keep you safe and happy. Be aware of very busy traffic in Hanoi. Pickpockets are well organized and very fast. They may operate in groups, so please be vigilant in crowded areas. Be vigilant when taking a taxi. If you have bags in the trunk, make sure he does not drive off with your bag. Always ask the price first and give the hawkers and taxi drivers exact change if possible. As in many Southeast Asian cities, Hanoi is hygienically challenged, especially where locals congregate more to dine.